What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what just came out from the company itself, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is down 5.24%, 729 the low, 773 the high. So a lot of blood in the market. So SoundHound's piggybacking off of that. And ultimately what is prompting all of this blood is Trump saying a lot of things, but arguing essentially with Powell on his inability supposedly to cut rates. So a lot of investors are kind of reading between the lines and saying, well, Trump is pretty much using him as a scapegoat because he's acknowledging that the market is crappy. So that's spooking the broader market quite significantly today. But nonetheless, today there isn't any data points or anything that's really prompting a lot of this fear. SoundHound didn't put out any news, but they did submit something on Friday, even though the market was closed on Friday. So instantly, once I saw that, it is a red flag. So starting off, preliminary 14A, so a shareholder meeting. And just on a side note, I'm not here to pump you up, to bring you down or anything. I'm just giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes there is uglies such as this right here. And there's more than enough influencers out there covering a lot of stocks, including SoundHound, that just like to pump, like shove rainbows and sunshine up people's you-know-whats, and I'm not here to do that. So again, getting right to it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Normally shareholder meetings, you have the very basic stuff that I don't really like to bring up, or nor do I really care all that much about the board of directors, about affirming the accounting firm, so nothing really crazy. But point number 3 and point number, I believe it is right here, point number 6, those are very big ones. So point number 3 is to increase the authorized share count from 455 million to 755. So that's ultimately the cap that they can dilute to. Reason why they are doing that is they are anticipating the stock price to go down. So they recently did submit a S3, so that is a shelf offering, and they didn't give a predefined amount of shares, they just gave a dollar value. So they are diluting up to 500 million. So you guys don't need to be rocket scientists to figure out the lower the stock price, the more shares are issued to fulfill that 500 million. So this is why they are raising the authorized share count. So it kind of does make sense, but at the end of the day, that does mean more dilution. So this is a big old red flag, but the worst of all is point number 6 right here. So they're looking to switch where the actual company is kind of under, right? So they want to switch it to a Delaware general corporate law. And so they're switching that. And what does that truly mean? Any company under this kind of jurisdiction essentially doesn't need shareholder approval for any future reverse stock splits, for dilution, or any of this. And so they don't need to raise or ask for approval or get the votes to raise the authorized share count. They can just do it. They do not need to ask. So in reality, 3 is a red flag. I'll just draw a nice little red flag there. Although it does kind of make sense, but point number 6, this is a huge deal that, in my opinion, again, you guys do whatever the hell you want, this is a instant red flag, and everyone should vote no against it. If this does pass, honestly, I don't see SoundHound really moving higher because of that. So it's just a huge red flag, and I've only seen companies that are about to go through a massive amount of dilution wanting to switch to the Delaware law. So it is that is a huge red flag in my opinion. But aside from all that, so this is going to be on May the 23rd, and so again, you can pop over there and vote and whatever else. And ultimately, it looks as though I think you have to be a holder as of March the 27th. So if you just bought in today or recently, unfortunately, you can't really participate in this. So that's kind of the bad side of that. So let me know your general thoughts on that. Like I said, I like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Company might have the best kind of intentions for point number 6, but I see that as a massive red flag. Point number 3, like I said, it's it makes sense why they are doing it, just it's not a good kind of sign. But when it comes down to the date of their earnings, a lot of people are under the impression that's going to be the next big catalyst. So historically, looking here, so they always do submit their Q1 earnings. In 2024, it was on May the 9th. And the following one in 2023 was May the 11th. So it is fair to assume it will be in the second week of May. So don't anticipate it in the first week or anything like that. So they'll probably put it out then. So just be aware of that. But aside from all that fun stuff, getting right to it, shorts are increasing 94,000 shares. So rather timid, and they have been rather timid for the last week since April the 9th, so no real big changes. 31.44% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 112.81 million shares overall are being shorted. Moving over to options, 761,000 in calls, 475,000 in puts, so kind of low on that front. 47% of all the options being done today, though, are bullish in nature, and the bulls are kind of anticipating for it to be between that 850 and 9, so pretty good for that. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub 7, so kind of polar opposites. Still a little bit more upside though, but at the end of the day, it will come down to the market, tariffs, and everything else, up until, of course, SoundHound's earnings. So far, only 2 transactions on the secondary market above $100,000. So when I first started covering SoundHound, it was a very big momentum play. So you had a huge amount of capital getting in. With a momentum stock, you need that continued amount of capital. So so far 2 transactions isn't going to cut it. So you have 2 buys though, so 123,000 and then 1.04 million, but still fairly low stuff that definitely does need to change. These are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool above $100,000. So you kind of have a little bit, again, similarly low volume, but it's still better than what it was for the most part. A lot of these transactions are linked to shorting though, so just kind of be aware of that. But with it at $7.42, it is trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and S2. So 677 is going to be that next strong support, and then $7.69 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. I know I mentioned in my last video that I would be a buyer of SoundHound again in the 6s, but if, in all honesty, and I'm not here to sugarcoat it or anything, but going back to this, if proposal number 6 does pass, then definitely that is a check mark for me. I'm out. I'm not really going to hold any speculative stocks that are under the Delaware law. That's just asking for more pain. But aside from that, no new analyst ratings. My last video, I think I did cover this one. So it came 7 days ago. $10 price target, D.A. Davidson. Gil, who has a 41% success rating. But on the actual chart, honestly, there's not really much positives to bring up. It is well below the 200, 50, and also 100-day moving averages. It's below the ALMA, stochastic RSI. You have a bearish deviation. So it is simply at the broader market's mercy. So you just need somehow deals to come through. Deals with the EU and even better yet, China. So let me know your general thoughts on SoundHound. Are you buying? Do you still believe in it? Do you think that I am wrong about these 2 points, or do you even care about these? Like, are you investing in the long term that you're not really overly worried about this? What's your kind of general thoughts on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.